Troy Casey, the certified health nut, here in the Scottish Highlands today at an organic farm. And look what I have. I have chicken balls. Or chicken.
Oysters.
Oh, they're chicken oysters. Are they chicken balls though?
No, they're not chicken balls at all. They're chicken oysters.
I didn't know that chickens had oysters. Okay, so we got chicken oysters and chicken livers. My favorite. We're gonna make some chicken liver pate. And so today I wanted to introduce you to my new friend,
Sasha Grierson.
Sasha Grierson, who owns an organic farm, and my good buddy Andrew Pride took me up here, and everybody out there knows that I'm a jerfer. I eat only real food, and I eat only organic food as much as possible as I can get. And of course, I rotate with organs. So we're happy when farmers have organs. So please, tell us your intention and why you grow organic food in a sea of garbage and chemicals and commercial CAFOs and all sorts of other nonsense.
Well,
what's your philosophy?
Our philosophy, well, we want to manage our land in a way that we feel is the best for the next generation, and we want to produce great tasting food in a clean way. It's really simple, and organic works for us. It allows us to farm and allow the biodiversity to flourish. There's more biodiversity on organic farms. Did you know that? That's a recent piece of research.
I knew that, and did you know that the UN declared 2010 the year of biodiversity because it's the most important component, critical component of our environment? Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that. Well,
I know
thank you
that.
very much. There we go. I've learned something today. So, and the way to make it work for us is to sell our food directly to people. So we have a growing band of enthusiasts for this, for the organs and the interesting bits and pieces that make up a jerf diet.
Jerf, just eat real
Jerf,
food.
Just eat real food. That makes sense.
I'm a jerfer. You're a jerfer?
Yeah, more or less, yeah.
And so are you saying that stuff that is like growing wheat with like maybe 89 million acres, that's probably not too good for the environment?
Well, I have to say, I'm going to be really clear here, Troy. I'm not going to comment too much on what other people do. I just know that this feels like the right thing for us to do. It's the right choice for us to make for our land and our local environment to feed our local community. So I feel very privileged, and I think that we have some serious environmental challenges in our world today. We're going to have a lot of people. I know it's political. So
that's very that's very politically correct, and so that's very kind of you. I'm not usually that kind.
Well, okay.
I call a spade a spade. I've got children that are breathing the air and drinking the water that are pesticide ridden, so I'm a little...
I don't want to poison my body or my children's body.
Really?
No, of course not. So that's part of the reason why we're organic farmers as well. So.
Well, that might mess up the economy.
Well,
or somebody else's economy, probably not yours.
Crikey, I don't know. Stop the film now, and we can get this bit right.
Well, the thing is
yes, we are doing. Our current food production system isn't working.
Yes,
it's not working.
It's unsustainable.
The Western world is sick and fat and tired.
Yes,
and it's not working.
Amen.
Therefore, we have to look for new solutions, and I want to be part of that.
Yes.
What we do here is part of that. And you can't just say, oh, it's not going to feed the world, throw it out. You have to include organics in your mixture of ideas and to try and solve these challenges.
Yes, absolutely. And there's a lot of people that might argue with good old common sense. They might want some scientific proof on that, but we've actually been growing food like this for a very long time, isn't that right?
Absolutely. It's the chemical era that is the scientific experiment. I'd like to see some proof on that. What's the proof? We have the Western world is sick, fat and tired.
Ooh, sick, fat, and tired.
What are we going to, that's your experiment. These are the results of your experiment. So,
yeah, what happened to common sense?
I don't know. We just got really busy in our society today. We're really busy and we're looking for solutions, short-term solutions perhaps, and that's where the common sense went out the window. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know. What happened? You tell me, Troy. You seem to have a lot of answers.
Well, I think the industrial age crept in, and corporate entities, not that they're bad or good, there was progress in our world, and corporate entities became bigger, and profits are at the cornerstone of corporate entities, and so more profits are better, and some of these big companies got bigger, and chemicals, well, actually the chemical companies made chemical weapons, and they made a lot of money, and then to continue those types of profits, they figured out, hey, let's put these chemical weapons in the food and in the soil. I mean, NPK was bomb-making materials for World War II. And after World War II and these companies became rich, they're like, well, what are we going to do with our products now? Oh, well, they're naturally occurring minerals. Why don't we just throw them in the soil and we can sell our stuff there? And so if you know anything about NPK, that's kind of like salt, and salting the earth is the way the Romans controlled the food supply. And so you control the food supply, you control the people, and you don't have to implement armies to go out there and do it. You can just play divide and conquer right on the dinner table. And so then what happened was Monsanto created a thing called Agent Orange because like the American Revolution, you know, you point and shoot and then you run behind a tree and you hide. So we were losing the war, exactly how we won the American Revolution in the Vietnam War. We were losing against the Viet Cong, and so we didn't like that. So we figured out, hey, let's burn the jungle down and we'll really fight these little Asian people and we'll show them a lesson. And then after we lost that war, we didn't like that either. And then this company called Monsanto that had developed that figured out, hey, this is an herbicide that burns the whole jungle down. Why don't we use that to create herbicide-resistant crops? We'll take this technology and we'll spend all of our money that we made from the Vietnam War and we'll engineer these crops and then we'll put them on the marketplace and we'll or something like that. I mean, maybe this is just my little fantasy, but it seems to me that there's a little bit of intelligence in that story. But I digress. The bottom line is, let's pay attention to the good news, because like Buckminster Fuller said, you can't fight the system. All you got to do is create something beautiful over here, and the system will fall to the wayside. And that's what we're doing.
Ooh, I like that.
Yes.
That is so cool.
Yes.
That is so much cooler than the kind of negativity stuff. It's like,
Yeah,
right,
exactly. We're just eating good food. You want to feel great. You want to be ripped at 50 like Troy Casey, the certified health nut, and start eating good food. You know, your skin feels better, your energy, your integrity feels better, your mind works better. You have natural, like, born intelligence. Like, you wouldn't poop in a spoon and eat it, right? So why would you put chemicals in your air, water, and soil? That's the way I think, right? Yeah. Pooping in the spoon and eating it's kind of stupid, right?
Not a good idea.
So if you don't want to be stupid, then you want to come to her farm, get your food, or get with your local community and create a CSA, a community-supported agriculture, hire a truck to come up to the farm, get the stuff, and then collect it in a city center near you. Now, how can people
get a crowd together, order from us. You can go online. You can find us at hughgrierson.co.uk. Get a group of people together. Get a group of people together and place a monthly standing order, and we can get you your any kind of protein, really, organic protein, well, animal protein, beef, lamb, pork, chicken, eggs, produced on our farm to high standards of animal welfare, so the animals are being looked after properly, and you're getting great tasting, clean, healthy food.
Sasha, can you also tell us what you spoke to me about before, about when you get people into the farm to audit you? You said you can't have the same person so often in case you get a relationship with them.
We can't have the same person more than 3 years in a row, because they don't want you to build close relationships. So we have an annual audit that comes and checks all our stuff. We do get spot checks from time to time. I have had a spot check where someone just turns up and says, I want to look around your farm. So the processes are fairly tight in order to make sure that your food is certified organic.
So I can't be a customer for more than 3 years at a time with you? Is that it?
No, you can be a customer for as long as you want.
Good.
Also,
but my auditors can't come for more than 3 years in a row. It's a check and balance. It's a small point, really.
Now, I've been coming to your farm for a couple of years now, and one thing you've been saying since I've been coming, so one thing Sasha's been saying to me, which I'd love her to expand on, is the fact that people are eating bone broth, like the certified health nut.
People are. I'm having 5 conversations a week with people since the beginning of the year. I'm having conversation after conversation after conversation with people who want to buy marrow bones, and they're coming because their current diet is making them sick. So they're looking for healing.
Healing and sealing the gut.
Something like that. Yeah, they're looking for healing, and I know other organic farmers who are also butchers who are in exactly the same position. They say that there's a growing number of people who are finding them and looking for bones and bone broth and chicken feet and organ meat and all those other bits and pieces, and they want to eat organic because they're looking for healing. And that's on the one hand, that's sad, but on the other hand, that's fantastic.
Yes.
They're coming, and they've picked up the messages that you guys are talking about.
Yeah, well, there's a huge movement in the United States. A lot of it has stemmed from our mentor, Paul Chek. He trains the world's trainers. He figured out a lot of the Paleolithic mentalities around diet and our biome and our digestive tract, and athletes and people that lift weights and want strong bodies. They started implementing a lot of this stuff. One of Paul's students is Chef Lance Roll, good friend of mine. He owns bonebroth.com, and I've talked to our farmers in California, and it's amazing. They could not get rid of the bones before, and now they're more expensive for me. But we all want you guys to get healthy, so whatever it takes to transform this world, buy your bone broth, make your bone broth, and support your local farmers, or you'll be eating Soylent Green.
Troy, tell us about the bone broth that I made that was fully Sasha's ingredients.
So I've been on the UK tour now for less than a week, but we've done 15 events. I've talked to 400 or 500 people so far. My throat is, as you can hear, it's almost out. But the first day I got to Scotland, Andy had made some food for us when we got here, and thank God Andy's so intelligent, because I need good healing medicine to fuel my body. And I got up to Scotland, and he had a lamb stew with beef bone broth that he had made before, and it was the most amazing healing food that I had. And I had it for breakfast, lunch, and I think they were going to they had cooked it and made it so much time it sat out on the counter, and I think they were gonna chuck it, and I was like, no. So I had it for dinner the first night, then I had it for breakfast, and we came home in the afternoon, and I had it for lunch. So breakfast, lunch, and dinner on the lamb stew and bone broth, and it was so healing. It actually kept me alive, and I staved off losing my voice a couple more days, and so good. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you for being alive. Thank you for doing what you're doing.
Oh, that is the nicest thing.
I love
Fantastic.
farmers. No farmers.
Who grows the food? But who eats the food? You're a co-producer. You guys are all co-producers. That's the other thing. By engaging with the product and eating the food, you're actually joining the party.
Can you tell us a little difference between grass-fed ruminants and what we see in commercial farming, CAFOs, and what's really on the market with hormone-injected stuff? Can you tell us the difference?
I think we'll just put the cattle aren't injected hormones in this country, in the UK. Put that to one side. I think grass-fed beef and lamb, if you think about it, cattle and sheep have evolved to eat grass. Therefore, that's what they should eat. And there's a lot of good research out now showing that there are better ratios of omega-3 to omega-6 fatty acids in grass-fed beef and lamb, well, grass-fed beef in particular, compared to grain-fed beef. And you can tell if beef is grass-fed, the fat on the outside is nice and yellow. It's picked up that colour from the grass, and it also has a lovely sweet flavour, and it just tastes great. And the thing is if you say, oh well, meat's expensive and grass-fed beef is expensive and your beef is expensive, you say, well, why don't you eat a little less, maybe put some more vegetables on your plate, and actually come and find these interesting bits and pieces that Troy opened with, the organ meat and the bone broth, and that is a much more cost-effective way to eat meat. Eating meat doesn't mean eating prime cuts. It means being clever and thrifty, and actually you'll feel great because of it, because all these things are just fabulous and tasty.
Yeah.
And the other question I had, I asked this question a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, and you probably know the answer to this. Let's see. Not everybody knows the
I'm on the
answer to
spot
my
now.
question. So, quick, how do you fatten up an animal to bring it to market?
On grass.
No, you feed it grain.
Oh, well, not here we don't.
Of course you don't.
Well,
Anyways,
what happens-
that's a
what
bad
happens
question
well,
for you
okay,
because
what
we're on
happens in a
organic
CAFO?
farm.
I don't know what happens in a CAFO, in
Right.
a UK CAFO. All I know is, well, the basics I know are that an animal gets taken off its mother at 9 months and then it gets fattened up in a feedlot,
Corn.
which drops the animal's pH in its gut to 2 or 1
Ouch.
from 7,
Acidosis.
and that just does horrible things to your gut, to an animal's gut, and they end
And then
up
your
with-
gut.
and then your gut.
And this is what we're dealing with: psoriasis, eczema, you know, any kind of skin issues. You know, it's directly related to your gut. You know, people don't know what they're thinking or their intuition's turned off. You got brain ganglia in your gut. So if your gut's blown open, then you know might want to look at cleaning up your diet. Andy, why don't you get in here and share all the great things of your experience here and then what you're doing to build a CSA for Glasgow.
Yeah, sure. So I've been coming a couple of years now to see Sasha. She's had me up in her office, chatting, trying to see how we can get this promoted, etc., to get people eating real quality foods. And I love pork scratchings, but I won't touch them in the shops. So Sasha said, "Why don't you get the pork skin?" I said, "Do you do that?" She said, "Yeah." So I come up every time I come up, I get this pork skin, and she gave me a beautiful recipe how to make my pork scratchings. So for anybody who's a fast oxidizer, pork scratchings are amazing. I get the chicken hearts, which I love. For my bone broth, for my chicken bone broth, Sasha gives me the chicken carcass. She gives me the neck, and she gives me the chicken feet. I throw all those into the water, chop up a couple of vegetables, couple of teaspoons of apple cider vinegar, a garlic, all crushed up, thrown in, let it bubble for 24 hours, and kaboom.
There you go.
You've got
And the
your bone
apple
broth.
cider vinegar releases the nutrients from the bones. It speeds up that process. So it means that you get the very most out of your bones.
Yeah, Chef Lance Roll talks about that as well on bonebroth.com. And so, do you have any videos on YouTube making bone broth or any of recipes?
No, I don't. I have a recipe. I did a blog about it on the website. If you go to Sasha's blog on hughgrierson.co.uk, you will find a recipe for bone broth there.
Awesome.
And all our contact details. Get in touch if you're worried, if you're freaked out, if the thought of cooking chicken feet makes you feel nervous. Call me. I will talk you through it. I will guide you and help you to
And
create a beautiful bone broth.
She's helped me, and as Troy Casey says, get over it. It's good for you.
That's
And
great.
I'm actively right now looking for people to contact me so we can get orders for people to
Form a little
Sasha's.
buying group.
Yeah.
It's really simple. Get in touch with Andy, form a little group of people, get yourselves organised. You can have a once a month order delivered to one of your houses, and then you can split it up. And there you are. You're engaging with the food, you're engaging with other people, you're learning skills from each other, you're sharing knowledge. All these things are good things in themselves and help you be a better, healthier human being.
Tribe up, guys. Tribe up if you want to survive planet Earth. Any last parting desire, burning desire statements that you'd like to make?
You said it all, Troy. Just eat real food, baby.
Just eat real food.
No farmers, no food, guys. Support organic farmers. Support the soil, the air, and the water. Support planet Earth. Buy organic. Assalamu alaikum.